Okay, we're rolling.
I need a toilet right now, man. I really need to go.
Oh my God, you must be joking. This is Teen K. He's kind of a younger me, shorter, slightly less clever and a bit more angry. Nah, man, I told you that orange juice is gonna go right through me, man. I got a weak bladder. I need to go for a piss really bad, man. Listen, the studio toilet's blocked, man. Just go and do it outside quickly. Nah, man, you can't take a piss in a park, can you? I know. When you've got to go, you've got to go. But how about this as an extreme case of piss taking? A 19-year-old, whilst on a student night out, was photographed soaking the wreaths on a war memorial.
WTF.
I'm trying to imagine what other more offensive places he could take a piss. At a child's birthday, a church font, maybe just outside number 10.
Oi, stop that.
A judge sentenced this guy to 250 hours community service for outraging public decency.
Sentence.
It might have been prison, but when convicted in court, he was really, really sorry. What does the law say? In this case, the law applicable is the offence of outraging public decency. The offence requires a person to do in public any act of lewd, obscene or disgusting nature which outrages public decency. So picking a war memorial to pee on is definitely a stupid idea, but getting photographed doing it is just a first-class degree with honours in idiocy. Not that we would encourage you to go around taking pictures of people urinating in public, that's not very nice, and could also be against the law. There was once this case involving a man who decided to film women having a pee in a public toilet from under the door. Clearly, he was proven to be a perv in court and sentenced to 12 weeks in jail, which was suspended for 2 years.
Sentence.
What does the law say? Well, generally, it's not illegal to take a photograph of someone in a public space without their permission. Here we're going to have a look at
The Human Rights Act.
Everyone has a right to respect for his private and family life, his home and his correspondence. Here's where it gets interesting. People can sometimes have a reasonable expectation of privacy in a public place. So if you've taken a picture of someone coming out of the really nasty diseases that happen to your testicles unit of the hospital, they are technically in a public place, but the law requires you to respect their right to not have the world know about their crown jewels, which is fair enough. Otherwise, if people are over 18 and doing normal stuff in a public place, then there's no problem. Time for a footnote. Not all places that the public are allowed in are public. Tubes and most public transport are owned and run by private companies, so technically they are private spaces. So if you're thinking of publicly shaming some poor commuter for having the audacity to fall asleep on the train, then you could be breaching his or her human right to privacy.
This just in. A man has fallen asleep on a train.
Okay, cameras away. Let's talk about nudity in the public. Yeah. There's nothing more likely to ruin a night out than an encounter with a stag or hen party who are determined to push the boundaries of public decency to the very limit.
Yeah, go on, Steve, go on, yeah!
You are virtually guaranteed to witness some kind of nudity. And if that happens, then a person may be accused of outraging public decency or committing an offence under Section 5 of the Public Order Act 1986. But here's the thing, even if Stag Do Steve here is walking down the street and waving his man bits around like a helicopter, he's only going to be guilty of outraging public decency if 2 or more people could have seen him do it. So that's right. If you're on your own, then phone a friend to make sure you can be outraged enough to get Steve to put his chopper away. This wasn't a problem for a couple from Swansea who were fined for performing a sex act in public. They might have got away with it, but unfortunately, the lady in question tried to get some additional leverage by poking her legs out of the driver's window, which rather drew attention to them and helped cause the outrage. Both were given 4 months jail, but suspended for 12 months.
Sentenced.
So in conclusion, it looks like in Britain, we aren't always free to do what we want in our public spaces. You can take a picture of almost anyone over 18. But if you drank a little too many and you're desperate, make sure that you find a public toilet in that public space. Just to be clear, I meant desperate for a number 1, not desperate for some sexy time. That's illegal in any public toilet. And also, not very hygienic. And that is a fact, people.